So good morning friends, welcome to Raj Malhotra IAS. So guys, here we are about to start the session. The PDF for today's session has already been uploaded. So let's see what exactly is there for us in today's newspaper. So as we have this quotation and we will be starting up with it. So these are the words of Dalai Lama. So it states that it is the state of mind that the person wielding the instrument that determines to what end it will put. So whatever we are doing, our state of mind is really very important. That's why it is important that you should remain calm and composed. Okay. Now the point is this calmness and this composedness is the prerequisite. Okay. It is the prerequisite if you want your body to perform 100%. You want your body and mind, your brain to perform 100%. This calmness and this composedness is the prerequisite thing. तो ये सबसे पहली चीज है जो हमें आनी चाहिए, हमें समझ में आनी चाहिए ये बात. So you should always try to find bliss. Now we want blissful living, and that blissfulness is not possible in materialistic demands. Materialistic demands में ये चीज possible नहीं है. So this is the point you need to understand. Apart from that, your success or your failure, it also depends upon your state of mind. So if you have the positive state of mind, definitely you will end up in a positive result for you. If you have a negative state of mind, there is no chance that your body and brain will be able to perform, and that may impact your performance. That may impact your performance. So why this state of mind is important for the officials who are working in government services? Now you need to understand one thing. An IAS officer will be posted, and there will be multiple pressures that he will be dealing with. Okay, there will be regular political pressures, so he will be handling those pressures, and things are going to be tough because he might be transferred, he might be suspended. So ऐसा चलता रहता है. In that scenario, his state of mind should be positive, because somehow if you develop the negative state of mind with your experiences, bad experiences, definitely it is going to impact their working. They will also take this government job, or you can say IAS job, as a sarkari nokri. It means that you have to just go to office, don't do anything, 5 o'clock your job is done. So this is also you need to understand. You have to keep yourself motivated. That is really very important, because this is what is going to define what you will going to do, how you will going to end. ये सारी चीजें आपको ध्यान रखनी जरूरी है. So state of mind is really very important in our life. ठीक है ना? State of mind is really very important in our life. Now we'll see this particular news that is coming up. So Uddhav Thackeray fights to keep control over Shiv Sena. So I already yesterday explained about, see, this is the political game that is going on. We have, you can say, there is nothing to do with this political game. So I would like to tell you this thing. So you have anti defection law. ठीक है जी, आपके यहाँ पे anti defection law है. As per those that arrangement in your 10th schedule, if if a if 2/3 of the members, okay, 2/3 of the elected members of a particular party, if they want to move out, if 2/3 of the member wants to move out, then it will not be a defection. Okay, उस केस में वो defection नहीं होगा. If 2/3 and more members they move out, then it will not be a defection in that particular case. Otherwise, if members are less than 2/3, they are going to lose their membership. उनकी membership जो है वो चली जाएगी. They will lose their membership, and this decision will be taken up by the Speaker of the House. Okay, so this is what you need to understand. ठीक है जी, ये सारी चीज आपको ध्यान रखनी है यहाँ पे कि किस तरीके से डिसीजन लिया जाता है. तो स्पीकर इज गोइंग टू डिसाइड कि किसकी मेंबरशिप रहनी है, किसकी नहीं रहनी. एंटी डिफेक्शन के मामले में. So this is what you should know. And apart from that, there is another news: earthquake kills over 1,000 in East Afghanistan. Okay, so we have to look into this aspect here. So as you know, this is how the earthquake have some components. So it has some P waves and S waves and L waves. P waves, L waves and S waves. So we should know about them. Okay, इनके बारे में हमें जानकारी होनी चाहिए. So here is the detailed, you can say, explanation of P waves and all. So P waves, which are also known as primary waves, they are the fastest moving waves, and they will reach the surface first. Now all this content that I am delivering to you, it is important for your prelims. ये सारी चीजें आपके prelims के लिए important है. So P wave fastest होती है, and it will be the first one to reach the surface. Okay, now these waves can travel through all types of liquids, that is solid, liquid and gases. Even the dense center of the earth, means they will be able to pass the dense center of the earth. That's the point you have to understand. Other than that, their speed is reduced in liquid layer, but still they will be able to pass through that region. Okay, they have short wavelength and high frequency. So these are also known as longitudinal waves. So this is the prelims related information जो आपको मालूम होनी चाहिए. Now S waves are secondary waves similar to light waves that have perpendicular propagation and has medium velocity, मतलब fast नहीं है, reach the surface after P waves. They cannot pass through the liquid layers. They cannot pass through the liquid layers. These waves are transverse in nature and have less speed than P waves. Less speed than P waves. Okay, so this is the valuable information that should be known to you. अब ये चीजें आपको मालूम होनी चाहिए, ठीक है ना, ये चीज आपको मालूम होनी चाहिए. So S waves, surface waves, if we talk about, they are also known as L waves. They move along the surface of the earth, and these waves originated from the epicenter and not from the focus. Okay, now just have a look over this. So this will be the focus, and perpendicular to that this will be the surface of the earth, and this will be your epicenter. तो ये चीज हमें ध्यान होनी चाहिए, ठीक है ना. नीचे अंदर कोई हमारे सरफेस के अंदर कहीं पे सीस्मिक एक्टिविटी जहां पे होगी, दैट विल बी योर फोकस, वेयर वी आर गोइंग टू हैव द सीस्मिक एक्टिविटी बीइंग स्टार्टेड, दैट विल बी योर फोकस. एंड perpendicular to that, if we move to the point that is there on the surface of the earth, that is going to be the epicenter. Okay, so ये चीज मालूम होनी चाहिए हमें. So L waves, they don't originate from the focus, they originate from the epicenter. So this is what you need to understand. Okay, and these are the last one to report to the seismograph and has slower velocity, but they are highly destructive. काफी ज़्यादा destructive होते हैं और slower इनकी velocity होती है. So all these things should be known to you, ठीक है ना, ये सारी चीज मालूम होनी चाहिए. Okay, so before moving to next part, and Vicky Gautam Yadav is asking, sir, what is horse trading in this? Horse trading, you need to understand, like opposition party, they will buy out some of these MLAs. So if the opposition party or say any other party, they are bribing these MLAs to switch their side, अपनी उनकी side switch करने के लिए उनको पैसे दिए जा रहे होंगे, then this will be known as horse trading. इसको बोलते हैं horse trading. Okay, so this is the whole point. जो घोड़े आपके लिए दौड़ते थे, अब वो घोड़े किसी और के लिए दौड़ेंगे. So ये चीज है इसके अंदर, horse trading. So we'll move to the next part. Now Prime Minister is coming out with some statements. He is saying that there is a scope, 1 trillion scope for digital economy. Okay, so he is also mentioning about the strength that India has, and India definitely has the potential because there are so many development that is going on in this country right now. So we are investing in our infrastructure. We already have the state of the art IT industry, or digital revolution के आने के बाद the situation is going to be further improved. So here they are saying that India's digital economy, if we talk about, like, and the infrastructure, their total potential is around $2.5 trillion. Now this is what Modi ji is saying, and he was addressing the BRICS business forum. Okay, so basically you have to project yourself as the best, you can say, investment destination, और आपको हर जगह से investment चाहिए, even from the BRICS countries. Okay, so this is what he was trying to portray. Now Mr. Xi Jinping, he said that, like, he referred to the crisis in Ukraine and cautioned against the bloc confrontation. Okay, now what is this bloc confrontation? Bloc confrontation means that like-minded countries, okay, like-minded countries working against a particular country. कि किसी एक सिंगल कंट्री को आपने single out kiya and you start working on it. So here Xi Jinping was talking about indicating towards Quad, that okay, Quad and these democracies, US, India, Australia, Japan, they might be trying to encircle China, or they might be trying to contain China. So this is what Chinese have given us a signal that okay, block confrontation should be avoided because it is going to impact India China relations. कहीं ना कहीं ये signal यहाँ पे हमें दिया गया है, ठीक है ना? So that was the points, but we'll move back to the Modi ji's idea of digital economy. So definitely, like, there is a really good opportunity for investment. So 1.5 trillion investment जो है in national infrastructure pipeline के अंदर, it is quite possible. Okay, so value of Indian digital economy will reach $1 trillion by 2025. Now this is really very remarkable. Okay, काफी remarkable चीज है यहाँ पे. It shows that we are moving in right direction, and we already have the target of 2030 to take Indian economy to 10 trillion. हमारी $10 trillion की इकोनॉमी होने का चांस है. Okay, so this is how developments are taking place in this country, and definitely this country has the energy. Okay, we are the youthful nation. आपका country बहुत youthful है, you have the energy and you have to channelize that energy. Okay, आपको बस channelize करना है उस energy को. That's the most critical part here. ठीक है ना? So we'll move to the next part now. There is another news. 4 new coral recorded from Indian waters. Okay, so अंडमान एंड निकोबार के अंदर ये मिले हैं यहाँ पे. So this is the information, and this is also information related for your prelims. Okay, you can note it down separately. So scientists have recorded 4 species of corals for the first time. Now these species are of azooxanthalate coral. Azooxanthalate coral. What are the speciality of this coral? So this type of coral group do not contain zooxanthate or zooxanthallate, ठीक है ना, and derives nourishment not from the sun but from capturing different forms of planktons. सो ये इस कोरल की खासियत है, ये सूरज से एनर्जी नहीं निकालता है, प्लैंकटन को अपने पास कैप्चर करके ये एनर्जी निकालता है. ओके, बाय कंज्यूमिंग दोज प्लैंकटन्स. सो दिस इज हाउ दिस कोरल इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम अदर्स. So they have mentioned it. Okay, now they are deep sea representatives, which with the majority of species being reported from depth between 200 meters to 1000. Okay, 200 meters to 1000. They are also reported from shallow water, unlike the zooxanthallate corals that are restricted to shallow water. So zooxanthallate corals are restricted to shallow water, but here this azooxanthallate is a coral which is not restricted to shallow water and is also found in deep waters. Okay, so this is the information that has been given here. Now we'll move to the next part. आगे चलते हैं. So here we have this editorial to discuss. So there is one editorial which is talking about caste dimension, the role of caste in the economic transformation. Okay, so here you need to understand one thing. We have caste system in this country and they can be linked to the different economic activities. Okay, आज की डेट में जो कास्ट हैं they are just aligned with the different economic activities, and this caste system itself is a barrier as well. ये बहुत बड़ा barrier भी है in facilitation of your economy, in diversification of your economy. आपकी इकोनॉमी डाइवर्सिफाइड नहीं होगी because of the caste system. Okay, because it has as a barrier. So it is also seen that the caste groups, they act as a cartel. बहुत जगहों पे ये कार्टल एग्जिस्ट करती है कि पर्टिकुलर कम्युनिटी के लोग हैं जो आपस में बिजनेस करते रहते हैं, एंड दे डोंट अलाउ अदर्स टू एंटर इन. ओके, they don't allow others to enter in, and this arrangement is existing. This arrangement exists here, and this is what this editorial is pointing towards. So they are saying that, like, at present jobless growth is going on in this country, and along with that we know that how migrant crisis was there, and it is further aggravated the major, you can say, problem of uh, joblessness. Okay, so corona and all, it has impacted the job market and it is visible here. Now they are saying that youth of this country is indulged in protest. Okay, youth का काम नेशन बिल्डिंग में होना चाहिए, यूज होना चाहिए, प्रोटेस्ट में अपनी एनर्जी वो ना वेस्ट करें. Okay, we have seen it. There were agitations, protest against the farm laws as well as against the Agnipath scheme. Okay. Now, the point is this. The point is this: how caste is linked with the economic activity. See, if you look into the totality, caste is directly linked with the land holding. तो लैंड होल्डिंग के साथ ये सीधा सीधा आके लिंक हो जाती है. ठीक है ना. So there are particular caste groups which are quite, you can say, influential, and they hold large amount of land. So this is what it is. Other than that, because of caste, barrier is also created that you don't allow others to have land. And when we tried to introduce land reforms, okay, जब हमने post independence land reforms introduce किया था, so it ended up as a disaster. उस टाइम पे land reforms ने अच्छा result नहीं दिया. Implementation was quite poor. So that is also one of the reason, as implementation was poor. Okay, so it means that the vulnerable sections, the backward, you can say, caste, they might not be able to they might not be able to reap the benefit of this particular government action. So this is not the only one. There are many other government schemes that are running, but caste barriers are still existing. Okay, because dominant caste, they will try to, they will try to dominate the whole area, and they don't allow other community members to enter in. Now there is a scene that they are talking about, that we talk about inclusive development, but this is somehow missing, and caste is the reason for that. Now caste enters as a post facto category in understanding the inequalities. Okay, so you have economic and social inequalities that is existing in India, and somehow the social and the economic inequality further aggravates because of the caste system that is prevalent. कास्ट सिस्टम की वजह से भी सोशियो इकोनॉमिक इनइक्वालिटी हो रही है. ठीक है ना. सो कास्ट थ्रू इट्स रिजिड सोशल कंट्रोल एंड नेटवर्क facilitate economic mobility for some and erects barrier for others by mounting disadvantages on them. अब आप किसी को नौकरी में नहीं आने दोगे, किसी को पढ़ने नहीं दोगे, इस टाइप की चीजें होती थी ना. सो ओनरशिप ऑफ लैंड, नॉलेज, ओके, नॉलेज शेयरिंग, all those things are somehow related to the caste discrimination that is there in this country. Now, it is mentioning that there are three ways in which caste impedes the economic transformation. First, ownership and land inequality that is existing, बिल्कुल. Okay, वो exist करता है. elite bias है education के अंदर. Historical neglect है of mass education. Okay, so there are caste based entry barriers in the modern sectors. ऑल दीज प्रॉब्लम्स आर एग्जिस्टिंग. ये सारी प्रॉब्लम आज की डेट में एग्जिस्ट कर रही है. तो देखो, एलिट बायस तो है हमारे यहाँ पे, ठीक है ना. और मास एजुकेशन के बारे में हम अभी बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. दो वी हैव राइट टू एजुकेशन, आपने राइट टू एजुकेशन इंट्रोड्यूस किया, बट पुअर इम्प्लीमेंटेशन है इसकी. ओके, इम्प्लीमेंटेशन इज पुअर. सो व्हेन यू हैव दैट सिनेरियो, द वल्नरेबल सेक्शंस, दे आर मेजरली इम्पैक्टेड बाय दिस. सबसे बुरा असर किस पे पड़ता है? वल्नरेबल सेक्शन का. So this is the point that they have made here. Now along with that, it is saying that India has also one of the highest land inequalities in the world. Okay, ये problem भी exist करती है. Some castes were assigned landlordship during the British time, and that went on, and post independence there was a poor implementation of land reforms. Now this land ownership, why this land ownership is important? Because this land ownership defines the social status and pride in many part of rural India. People take pride in their caste, in their, work that they are doing, if they are associated with the agriculture work. That's the point here. And caste, it had faced many policy outcomes. बिल्कुल यहाँ पे policy outcomes को ये impact कर रही है. Because if government is coming out with a scheme for vulnerable sections, suppose करो सरकार की कोई scheme आती है vulnerable sections के लिए, and vulnerable sections will, as per the data, majority will talk about the backward classes. Okay, majority उनकी होगी, and because of the caste restrictions they will not be able to reap the benefit. because the dominant class caste, they will try to take away all the benefits, and it has been seen multiple times. नरेगा के अंदर भी इस टाइप की चीजें देखने को मिली हैं, ठीक है ना, नरेगा के अंदर ही इस टाइप की चीज देखने को मिली है. ओके, दैट्स द पॉइंट हियर, एंड दिस इज हाउ दीज सोशल बैरियर्स now they have impacted the economic transition in Indian society. That's why the caste system is still existing as a rigid, you can say, system. So Vyanjana is asking, sir, how caste is linked with the land holding. See, you need to understand one thing here. Land holding, primarily it's related to the agrarian community, ठीक है ना. agrarian community को अगर आप लोगे, so take example of Haryana and Punjab. So majority of the land holding in Haryana like is with Jat, and in Punjab it's with the Jat Sikh. Okay, it is there. So you talk about Gujarat, so you had Patidars, Patels, ठीक है ना, Patidars, Patels. So they used to hold the land. They used to hold the land. Say you talk about Andhra Pradesh, then you have Reddis. Reddis. Okay. Now they have the land holding. They have the land holding. This is how caste was over the years. It got linked with the land holding. कहीं ना कहीं लैंड होल्डिंग के साथ ये लिंक हो गई, ठीक है ना. सो दिस इज हाउ थिंग्स आर. दिस इज हाउ थिंग्स आर. इज इट क्लियर? चलिए. So we'll move to the next editorial. Now next editorial, what is disrupt the progress of development? See, whenever we talk about development, जब भी आप development की बात करते हो, so development should be inclusive. It means that development should touch upon all sections of the society. जितने भी sections of the society हैं, सबके लिए development होनी चाहिए, सबके लिए arrangement होना चाहिए. But if because of caste based discrimination, अगर किसी caste based discrimination की वजह से, okay, if a particular section is left out, अब कोई section पीछे छूट गया, then you cannot say that it is going to facilitate development for all, because that inclusivity will not be there, and that particular section will remain as it is. वो लोग कभी भी develop नहीं हो पाएंगे, and this is how it disrupts the development. This is how it disrupts the development. Is it clear? Is it clear? चलिए. So we'll move to the next part. Now they are saying that heal the nation before healing the rest of the world. So they are saying that okay, पहले देखो, India is known as pharma of the world. ठीक है जी, हमें बोलते हैं pharma of the world, that India is having the facility and capability to produce vaccines and medicines for all. तो हम काफ़ी vaccines and medicines जो हैं पूरी दुनिया के लिए बनाते हैं, and that is also at the economical, you can say, rate, quite economical, quite affordable. So Indian vaccines are quite economical and affordable, and all are of good quality. So this arrangement is there. Now in this scenario, this editorial is saying that, like, first try to improve the situation domestically. Whatever health facilities that we have, you have to strengthen them. उनको पहले आप strengthen करो, then talk about facilitating the whole world. पहले domestic करो, this should be your first priority. Okay, then talk about helping others, because we have seen it. I hope you remember vaccine Maitri. Okay, so we promised that we will be providing vaccines to multiple countries, but during the second wave of corona, your health system was exposed. India का health system exposed हो गया था, and we failed domestically. And as we failed domestically, you were not able to complete your commitments. जो भी commitment आपने की थी international countries के साथ, you failed to complete those commitments. That's the point here. So this is what this editorial is saying. It is saying that instead of just rushing and saying that you are going to help others, first try to improve position domestically. Now India is exporting, you can say, medical services. Medical services की बात करें, so here doctors are going from India, nurses are going from India, and there is a shortage of doctor domestically. आपके यहाँ से डॉक्टर्स बाहर जा रहे हैं और डोमेस्टिक एरिया में शॉर्टेज चल रही है. That's the problem here. That's the major problem. So they are saying that health heal the nation before healing the rest of the world. Make sure that your domestic system is competent enough to handle the medical issues. Then talk about helping others in the world. That's the point here. Okay. So ये सारी चीजें जरूरी हैं. Now we are working on improving our health capabilities. Okay, हम उसके ऊपर काम भी कर रहे हैं. So आयुष्मान भारत has already been launched. और आयुष्मान भारत कहीं ना कहीं इट विल बी एबल टू प्रोड्यूस सम रिजल्ट्स. कुछ रिजल्ट्स जो है यहाँ से आएंगे. ओके. सो हेल्थ कैपेसिटी जो है वो डेफिनेटली यहाँ पे इम्प्रूव हमने करनी है. नाउ नॉट ओनली एट द डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल बट ऑल्सो एट द सब डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल, वहां पे भी आपको इम्प्रूव करनी है. वी हैव आयुष्मान भारत डिजिटल मिशन and heal by India initiative. So basic idea is that we want to, you can say, create an online repository of all categories of healthcare professionals in the country. That at least we should know हमारे यहाँ पे किस डॉक्टर के लिए शॉर्टेज है और किस डॉक्टर, कौन से ब्रांच के डॉक्टर जो है वो सरप्लस में है. You will get a normal understanding and that is going to help you in drafting your future policies. फ्यूचर के अंदर पॉलिसीज किस हिसाब से बनानी है, नंबर ऑफ सीट्स किसकी इंक्रीज होगी, दो सॉर्ट ऑफ थिंग्स. नाउ WHO रिपोर्ट प्रोजेक्टेड अ रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ नियरली 2 million more doctors and nursing professionals for India in order to attain the minimum threshold ratio of healthcare professional to population. 2 million डॉक्टर नर्सेज और चाहिए हमें यहाँ पे, and it is going to be difficult. It is going to be difficult. Because 2 million doctors and nurses, it won't be an easy task. पढ़ाना पड़ता है, इतना आसान नहीं होगा. ठीक है ना. So this is the point. This is the point. Now healthcare, particularly in the post-COVID era, has been a fertile ground for countries to project soft power. देखो हम क्या करते हैं, आपके डोमेस्टिकली तो शॉर्टेज चल रही है, एंड हेयर यू आर सेंडिंग योर हेल्थ केयर प्रोफेशनल्स एज अ सॉफ्ट पावर. ये भी चल रहे हैं हमारे यहाँ पे. वी आर एक्सपोर्टिंग वैक्सीन्स, बिल्कुल यहाँ से जा रहे हैं लोग, वैक्सीन्स भी जा रही हैं. सो दिस शुड बी डन इन अ प्रॉपर मैनेज्ड वे. फर्स्ट यू हैव टू मेक श्योर दैट डोमेस्टिकली यू आर कंपिटेंट इनफ. भाई डोमेस्टिक एरिया में तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है और बाहर आप एक तरीके से बन के बैठते हो. डोमेस्टिकली तो प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट होती है एंड यू आर कमिटिंग मल्टीपल थिंग्स टू द एक्सटर्नल, यू कैन से प्लेयर्स, that हम ये करेंगे हम वो करेंगे. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Along with that, we are also promoting medical tourism. भाई GDP को बढ़ाना है, medical tourism, but it should not be at the cost of your domestic population. Domestic population की cost पे नहीं होना चाहिए. So you need to further strengthen the public sector hospitals. उनको और better बनाने की जरूरत है यहाँ पे. That is really very important. Without that, things are not going to be easy. So it is suggested that we need to have the immediate registry. बिल्कुल एक immediate registry चाहिए यहाँ पे. Okay. And there is neither strong demand side desperation nor significant supply side scarcity. Okay. So both things have to be addressed. Both things have to be addressed here. So we'll move to the next part. आगे चलते हैं. So here this editorial is talking about towards a single low tax regime. Okay, so we know that we introduced GST with the idea that one nation, one market, one tax. That was the idea. But instead of following it, we have multiple slabs. आपके यहाँ पे multiple slabs हैं. You have multiple slabs. And that creates some confusion. वहां से confusion होता है. So first of all you have central GST, then you have SGST, then you have say IGST if it is the interstate transportation the transaction, and then you have three slabs: 5%, 12%, 18% in normal, and 28% for the luxury goods. Okay. So that sort of slabs are existing, and if you read the statements made by the then finance minister, Arun Jaitley ji, he used to say that we are going to minimize these slabs to the 2 slabs. सिर्फ 2 slabs रह जाएंगे. Now the idea was that one nation, one market, one tax. But here one tax is not visible. So on some items you have 28% tax, on other 5%, 12%, 18%. That's bit problematic. And here the finance minister has also said that we are moving in a direction to further rationalize the taxes. Okay, already there are committees which have said this thing, that this 18 and 12%, this merger can be explored. ये कहीं ना कहीं हम merge कर सकते हैं. Okay, so we have to wait and watch how things will be done here. So but definitely this was a major issue, because we said that it will be a one nation one market one tax, but things were completely different. चीजें यहाँ पे बहुत अलग थी, ठीक है ना, चीजें यहाँ पे बहुत अलग थी. So here we will move to next news here. So crypto came tumbling after. Now you need to understand cryptocurrency. It was also like said that this cryptocurrency, it is not backed by any asset. Okay, not backed by any asset, and its valuation depends upon the demand and supply. बिल्कुल demand और supply के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है, ठीक है ना. सो एज द डिमांड इंक्रीजेज the prices are going to increase. As the supply is going to be disrupted, prices are going to increase. If the demand is fulfilled, then prices will go down. So that arrangement already exists here. वो सारा का सारा अरेंजमेंट आज की डेट में भी एग्जिस्ट करता है, ठीक है ना. बट if there is a fluctuation in prices, now frequent fluctuation होता है यहाँ पे, frequent fluctuation, and that is problematic, because एकदम से the whole wealth will be gone. And you know, if someone is from poor section and invested in this, he will be impacted by that. कोई भी अगर ज़्यादा इनकम नहीं है और फिर भी रिस्क लेके इस क्रिप्टो में इम्पैक्ट कर रहा है, तो असर बुरा होगा. Not precisely poor, not precisely poor. Okay, so this is what you can read it on your own. ये आप अपने आप read out कर सकते हो प्रॉब्लम क्या आ जाती है. So we'll move to the next part. आगे चलते हैं सीधा. So here we have this news, and on this page we will be like, there is nothing much, कुछ खास नहीं है यहाँ पे. Political news are there, so we won't be picking up those political news. We'll move to the next part. आगे चलते हैं सीधा. So here we have this news again, the like presidential election, and the common nomination from the opposition is Mr. Yashwant Sinha. So this is how they are trying to make this thing, but देखते हैं क्या होता है यहाँ पे. Okay, so here we have another news. Rain and snow leads to Kashmir floods. Now I already told it multiple times, the climate change is creating a trouble. Climate change is going on, and that climate change is developing into increase in severity of the impact. मतलब खतरनाक हो गए हैं वो, ज़्यादा एक तरीके से पेनिट्रेशन के साथ इम्पैक्ट होता है अब. And this is quite visible here. So here this is the case of flood, and majorly these floods have impacted the economic and the social life there in Kashmir right now. So ये situation यहाँ पे बनी है. Things are very alarming. Okay, so it is important that we need to do something. कुछ ना कुछ हमें करने की ज़रूरत है. Now there are other reasons why these floods are occurring here. Urban flooding एक बहुत ही common सा आजकल का topic है, and it is important for you as well. Urban flooding, why this urban flooding is a major trouble, and what are the reasons, उसके reasons क्या क्या होते हैं urban flooding के. So we have multiple examples. So you have another example of Srinagar. आपके पास श्रीनगर का example आ गया, and we have Chennai flood, you have Delhi, you can say flood like situation. Mumbai is also in flood like situation every year. So that mess is existing. So here you have urban flooding. Now see, what have we created in urban areas? We have created the concrete jungles. Concrete है हर जगह पे. Okay, so when you have a pavement roads, concrete infrastructure, there is no open space or less open space है वहाँ पे. Okay, so the impact is this, groundwater recharge is impacted. जो ग्राउंड वाटर रिचार्ज था वो मेजरली इंपैक्ट होता है यहाँ पे, बिकॉज अर्लियर व्हाट यूज्ड टू हैपन, ग्राउंड वाटर यूज्ड टू गेट रिचार्ज्ड एंड सरफेस वाटर यूज्ड टू गेट लेस इन वॉल्यूम. अब ग्राउंड वाटर रिचार्ज हो जाता था और सरफेस से पानी नीचे जमीन में चला जाता था. दैट इज नॉट हैपनिंग. That is not happening, and this is how urban flooding is a major trouble. Along with that, there is another problem of poor management. Okay, poor management of, you can say, dams or reservoir. किसी को पता ही नहीं होता कि पीछे से पानी छूट रहा है कि नहीं, and randomly because of lack of coordination water is released and the urban area might get flooded. सो ये सारे रीजंस हैं जो हमें यहाँ पे समझने पड़ेंगे, इसको ठीक करना जरूरी है. सो विल मूव टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट, आगे चलते हैं. सो अदर देन दैट देयर इज नथिंग मच हियर, कुछ खास नहीं है. ऑस्ट्रेलिया सेज LAC assault was a warning. Okay, China is very aggressive and these countries are joining hands to somehow counter China. ये करना जरूरी है. Individually if India is not able to do it, definitely with a like-minded team members we will be able to do it. That's the basic point. So we are exploring that with Quad members. We need to develop good relations, and in a joint way we can counter the Chinese influence. That's the major point that you have to mention here. Other than that there is nothing much, कुछ खास नहीं. So here we have this news item: India Russia should have a direct trade and investment agreement. Okay, already this gentleman is saying that we should work upon establishing a connecting network to Russia. So his suggestion is like this, that India should explore something from Iran. So here we have Iran, and then from say this part some connection can be explored to Russia, or say from Caspian Sea के थ्रू भी आप कुछ ऐसा रास्ता एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हो. So this is what they are saying. Now we know that Russia is important for us. Russia हमारे लिए important है, specifically for your defenses, and Russia has played important role in, you can say, keeping India's interest in UN and United Nations Security Council. तो जब भी कुछ भी ऐसी एक्टिविटी होती थी UNSC के अंदर which is against the Indian interest, Russia used to take care of that. That's the point here. Okay, and we need, you can say, good energy resources, and Russia is a supplier. Russia एक supplier है, and right now Russia has emerged as a second, you can say, major supplier to India after Saudi Arab. तो ये एक तरीके की डेवलपमेंट है आज की डेट की. Because of the war we are getting, you can say, cheaper oil, and there is no harm in getting cheaper oil. अगर रशिया से सस्ता तेल मिलता है तो उसमें कोई बुराई नहीं है, because we know what you have to do, the things which are good for Indian interest. जो चीज इंडियन इंटरेस्ट के लिए अच्छी है वही चीज आपको करनी है. वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज whatever they may be saying, we should not be bothered about that. Okay, so other than that on this particular page there is nothing much, कुछ खास नहीं है यहाँ पे. Okay, so here we'll move to the next part. So now RBI is saying that no option but to raise the rates. Already inflation was relatively very high. Now inflation, look at the nature of this inflation. आप इस inflation का nature समझने की कोशिश कीजिए. So Ukraine Russia war. Okay, now Ukraine Russia war, this is the reason, one of the reason, and here monetary policy is going, committee is not going to produce any result. तो आपकी monetary policy committee यहाँ पे कुछ result नहीं लेके आ सकती. So other issue was again how to handle COVID, because COVID has impacted the global supply chain. आपके COVID ने global supply chain को impact किया है. In that case as well the role by you can say monetary policy is limited. उस केस में भी limited role play करेगा आपका monetary policy. So these points should be known to you. These points should be known to you, and here also they are saying that they had no option. Already the inflation was going high, so they tried to, explore some of the monetary policy tools. But the point is this, how effective it is going to be, we have to wait and watch. थोड़ा टाइम इसके अंदर लगाना पड़ेगा, ठीक है ना. This is what they are mentioning about it. So that's it for the day then. Thank you very much.